Well, good afternoon. That has just been the President of the Republic of Kenya, President William Ruto, who has just made his entry into the Parliament of Kenya this afternoon, being the 21st day of November 2024, and the President will be making his State of the Nation address. This will be his third State of the Nation address since he assumed power in 2022. And so, our dear viewers, welcome for this live proceeding brought to you by the Parliamentary Broadcasting Unit in conjunction with Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. And the State of the Nation is just the only agenda in order of business this afternoon at the National Assembly. Remember, the President is addressing the nation through a sitting of the Senate and the National Assembly, popularly known as bicameral parliament. And in the order of business this afternoon, immediately after the President makes his way into the chamber this afternoon, we'll be having a prayer session, and equally that will be followed by convocation by the Speaker of the Senate as well as by the Speaker of the National Assembly. And the Speaker of the National Assembly will then invite His Excellency the President to make his speech. Then that is, at that juncture is when the President will make his State of the Nation address. And immediately after the conclusion of that, we'll have the House adjourning this afternoon, or the fact that the State of the Nation address is the only agenda lined up for consideration by the both houses of Parliament. And remember, the State of the Nation address will not be debated today, but it has been awaited 4 days, beginning Monday next week for debate by both houses of Parliament. And according to the ruling by the Speaker of the National Assembly, is that the President of the Republic of Kenya will be heard in silence by the members of the National Assembly as well as members of the Senate and the dignitaries present. Our dear viewers, we already understand that among other guests who are the President for this that State of the Nation address is the Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, as well as the Deputy President, Professor Kithure Kindiki. So to just give you some of the expectations during today's State of the Nation address, the President of the Republic of Kenya is required by Constitution to address the nation through the State of the Nation address. This is the third one since the President assumed power in 2022. And the President this afternoon is expected to outline the successes in his government for the last 2 years that the Kenya Kwanza administration has been in power. We expect the probable challenges that face the government and the measures that the government will be taking to address some of the areas. We also expect this afternoon with the President's speech that the President tells the nation some of the targets and measures are put in place to ensure that the Kenyan government is ensuring that the country is being progressive. Remember, the government's key agenda is bottom-up economic transformation agenda, basically on matters housing, health, digital superhighway, and matters economy, so to speak. The very first State of the Nation address was done on the 1st of 29th of September, the year 2022. The second one was on the 2nd of the 9th of November, the year 2020. And today being the last State of the Nation address is happening on the 21st of November 2024. This is, so to speak, say a month after the swearing in of the Deputy President, Professor Kithure Kindiki. And if you're asking yourself what is the State of the Nation address, the State of the Nation address is basically communication from the President to the nation through Parliament, in which the President of the Republic, here being President William Ruto, outlining the Kenyan current situation, and equally the President will be providing a policy proposal for the coming legislative year. So we expect that during this State of the Nation address that takes place not after 3 p.m. today. Key areas that we expect the President's speech to dwell on are health, education, security, as well as the state of the economy and matters to do with probable tax policies. Remember, that State of the Nation address comes at a time when there have been concerns about abductions, enforced disappearances, and cases of femicide being on the rise. And we had the President that yesterday pledging to support the war against femicide with about 100 million shillings being a commitment of the executive that the country and the top in command is ready to slay this dragon of femicide. And we will be back to the President to tell the nation the measures that the government has put in place to ensure the dragon of corruption is laid, and what further the government will be doing through its various independent bodies to ensure that the corruption issue remains a matter of the past. Well, during his last State of the Nation address, the President spoke on a number of issues. They included the steps that will be taken to improve as well as boost the economy, create jobs. Remember, the country is facing the aspect of unemployment, especially among youth, and the government having come into power with one of their key campaign agendas being addressing the area of employment in the country. We'll be expecting a report from the President in regards to how the country is doing on that area, as well as the steps being taken to further cushion the youth from further unemployment crisis. We also be expecting to speak on matters health reforms. Remember, we last shy away from the implementation of the SHA or shift you like on matters to do with the transforming the health sector, and we'll be expecting the President to address the nation in regards to how his government is looking into transforming the health sector and ensuring that everyone is accessing their health rights as enshrined in the Constitution, as well as matters agriculture in the areas of farming as well as manufacturing. So this afternoon, all eyes, the whole nation is frankly watching Parliament of Kenya this afternoon to hear from the President, who is mandated through the Constitution to address the nation every year. This is Article 132, Section 1 of the Constitution, that provides for the President to address a sitting of Parliament once every year. And dear viewers, Article 132, Section 1 BSC further dictates that every year the President is expected to report in an address to the nation on measures taken to achieve the realization of the national values of the Republic, and equally submit a report for debate to the National Assembly on the progress made in fulfilling the international obligations of the Republic. This report that will be submitted this afternoon is scheduled for debate from Monday next week. Remember, the National Assembly has already adjusted its sittings for the next 2 weeks, so to speak. And among the priority business, consideration of the President's speech on the State of the Nation address. This year's address is coming technically about a fortnight after the swearing in of the Deputy President, Professor Kindiki. and we expect the President to address the measures taken to achieve the matters of national security, national values, and also highlight the achievements of his administration, such as the rollout as well as the uptick of the new social health insurance fund, popularly known as CHIF, that replaced the National Health Insurance Fund, also known as NHIF. So the President is currently with the speakers of the National Assembly as well as the Senate, where the President is expected to brief them as well as sign the book, bearing in mind the President is a visitor today in the presence of Parliament. Thereafter, the President will be ushered into the chamber this afternoon by the both speakers of the National Assembly as well as the Senate. I'm speaking about Speaker Moses Tanga as well as the Speaker of the Senate, Robert Kingi. Before them will be the subject terms and here, the key bosses of the matters to do with the proceedings of the both houses of Parliament technically making their way into the chamber this afternoon. And immediately after, the subject terms carrying the base make their way or do that step into the chamber this afternoon. The members of the National Assembly, as the Senate President and Deputy President this afternoon, will be elected that the President of the Republic of Kenya is ready to get into the chamber this afternoon and do exactly that, which is the address of the nation that will be preceded by the announcement or probably the ratification by the Speaker of the Senate as well as the National Assembly, who are expected to do a convocation. From my indications, it appears that particular procession is about to take place. Remember, this being the all-eye Parliament as President William Ruto makes the anticipated State of the Nation address. This State of the Nation address presenting a crucial opportunity for the President to outline the nation's progress, the challenges, as well as plans in the period characterized by some specific economic stabilities and these high public expectations on this. The State of the Nation address is simply a step-by-step march to the National Assembly chamber this afternoon. And for this, you can see the maces of both houses of Parliament coming away into the chamber system, closely followed by the clerks, as well as the President in between the two speakers, that is the Speaker of the National Assembly, as well as the Speaker of the Senate. And expect the President to address matters to do cost of living. And here, allow me, however, back to the proceedings of this live proceedings, proceeding live from the Parliament of Kenya, and brought to you by Kenya Corporation in conjunction with the Parliamentary Broadcasting Unit. My name is Gladys Ngai. Have yourself a great afternoon.
Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu, tunakusihi tutazame kwa nyingi baraka sisi watumishi wako ambao mridhika kupita kwa nyanja za uongozi katika nchi yetu. Tunakuomba tualie, tuyatende na kufanya mambo yote yatakayofikishwa mbele yetu njia ya haki na uaminifu ili kusababisha amani, ufanisi na heri nchi yetu na wale ambao haja zao wamezikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amen. Tuketi. All our members, let us all sit. Thank you. Your Excellency, Honorable Dr. William RUTO, CDH, President of the Republic of Kenya, and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces. Right Honorable Dr. Moses Tanga, EHFD, Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Members of Parliament, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Article 132, Sub 1B of our Constitution provides that the President shall address a special sitting of Parliament once every year and may address Parliament at any other time. Article 132, Sub 1C of our Constitution further provides the President shall, among us, once every year report in address to the nation all the measures taken and progress or achieved in the realization of the national values referred to in the of the Constitution. In addition, Article 2, Sub 7 of the Constitution requires the President in his capacity of the Chairperson of the National Security Council to report to Parliament annually on the state of security in Italy. In this regard, Chief of Staff and Head of Parliament provide later dated reference EOP/CAB/26/4A, 44, in brackets 178, and dated the 9th of September 2024, from the speakers of the House of Parliament with the intention of His Excellency, the President address Parliament. Consequently, and upon this position, the address Parliament is addressed to the President today, Thursday, 21st of November 2024. Pursuant to Article 5(2) of the Senate orders, I notify honorable senators of the place, date, and time of today's special sitting, provide Gazette Notice number 158/29, which was published in the date of Friday, the 15th of November 2024. Further, together with the Right Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly, I notify all members of Parliament and the public of today's special sitting, provide notices placed at the open space yesterday, Wednesday, the 20th of November 2024. Accordingly, honorable members, this special sitting is properly convened. Thank you.
Your Excellency, Honorable Dr. William Samuel, CDH, President of the Republic of Kenya, Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, the Right Honorable Hamilton King, AGH, MP, Honorable Speaker of the Senate, Honorable Members of Parliament, Members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Article 132(1)B of the Constitution requires the President to address the nation once every year and at any other time. Further, Article 131(c) of the Constitution requires the President once every year report in an address to the nation of measures taken and progress achieved in the realization of our national values. Additionally, Article 131(c)(3) of the Constitution provides that the President shall submit a report for debate to the National Assembly on the progress made in fulfilling the international obligations of the Republic. In this regard, honorable members, by way of a message to the House, His Excellency the President conveyed his desire to address the joint sitting of the House of Parliament on 1st November 2024. Therefore, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 22 National Assembly Standing Orders, and by Gazette Notice number 15327, which was published in the Kenya Gazette on 18th November 2024, and indeed has also notified all members of the general public By way of newspaper notification published on 20th November 2024, I give a notice of this special sitting Parliament members of the National Assembly. Accordingly, honourable members, this special sitting is properly convened. Your Excellency, honourable members, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, this year's President's Address comes at a time when the country is set to host the 14th edition of the East African Community Interparliamentary Games. The Interparliamentary Games shall bring together participants from the member states of the East African Community and the East African Legislative Assembly, and a part of the deepening, widening, and tightening of the integration process. The Games are scheduled to commence next month on 7th December 2024 in Mombasa County, and all is set in readiness for these Games. Moving on, Your Excellency, it is the custom of Parliament to recognize invited guests seated in our galleries. I therefore wish to recognize the following guests who are seated in the Speaker's Hall: Her Excellency Mama RUTO, First Lady of the Republic of Kenya, and other members of the First Family. His Excellency Honorable Professor Kithure Kindiki, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya and the First Lady President, Excellency Dr. Joyce Sidhwe. Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, EGH, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, and Cabinet Secretary of Foreign Affairs and Diaspora Affairs. Your Excellency, honorable members, also present the Speaker as well this afternoon, and the Honorable Lady Justice Philomena Mbete Mwilu, MDH, Deputy Chief Justice, Vice President of the Supreme Court. She is accompanied by Honorable Justice Mohammed K. Ibrahim and Justice William Ouko, Justice William Ouko, Judge of the Supreme Court of Kenya. Also accompanying Deputy Justice R, Honorable Justice Oscar Angoto, presiding judge of the Environment and Land Court. Honorable Justice Lady Justice Jemima Wanza Kelly, Judge of Employment and Labor Relations Court. We are also honored to have in our midst the immediate former speakers of the Houses of Parliament, the Honorable Justin Bedon, the EGH, the Cabinet Secretary for Public Service and Human Capital Development, the Honorable Kenneth Marinda, EGH, the Honorable Kenneth Makelo Lusaka, EGH, the current Governor of Bungoma County, Honorable Eko Efro, and additionally also at least be hosting a delegation visiting our Parliament from the Republic of Gambia. Your Excellency, allow me to also recognize the chairperson of the Council of Governors, is also the Governor of Wajir County, the Honorable Ahmed Abdullahi, and the Honorable Johnson, Secretary Governor of the City of Nairobi County. May I also call special recognition to all Cabinet Secretaries present, and particularly four of them, who are former ranking members of the Houses of Parliament, namely Ali Wale, EGH, former leader of the Majority Party in the National Assembly, Honorable Onesmus Mukomen, EGH, former Senate Majority Leader, Honorable John Mabi, EGH, Honorable Obi EGH, both former leaders of the minority in the National Assembly. I need not mention that the Executive President is the former leader of the majority in the Senate. I also acknowledge the presence of Mr. Felix Kosgei, Chief of Staff, Head of Public Service, Principal Secretaries, members of the Diplomatic Corps and Heads of Constitutional Commissions, and independent offices and state corporations present. They are all welcome to the House of Parliament. Your Excellency, I wish to make a special welcome to Parliament and mention the Chief of the Kenya Defence Forces, General Daniel Abiri, who is present, and the respective service commanders, the Inspector General of Police, and other leaders of our disciplined forces who are seated at the Speaker's Hall. Parliament is grateful for your distinguished service to our great nation. To all invited guests, we say Karibuni sana kwa bunge letu. Your Excellency, honorable members, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is now my singular honor and privilege to invite His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Defence Forces to address this special sitting of Parliament. Welcome, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. The Honorable Speakers of Parliament, honorable members, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to address you today in the front of the mandate vested in me under Article 1321C of the Constitution to report to you and the people of Kenya on the measures we have taken and the progress we have made in realizing our national values and principles of governance, and to submit to you, honorable members, the progress made in fulfilling our international obligations. Since my last address, Kenya has undergone rapid change, occasioned by collective awakening of the people in the understanding that the state of the nation depends on the work we do individually and collectively. This realization extends not only to what we choose to undertake, but also to how we go about securing ideas, livelihoods, and contributing to the grand enterprise of nation building. There has never been doubt, and now there is none whatsoever, that Kenya is a land of bold ambition, with our citizens always desiring and insisting on the best possible standards, not only for themselves, but also for their families and for our nation. Consequently, our democracy has empowered citizens to ask questions and demand changes in the way their affairs are managed, driving the wheels of our nation's social, political, and economic transformation faster in the direction of excellence and prosperity. Rare are the times when leadership is ahead of people. We are always striving to steer machinery of state and government to keep pace with the aspirations of our citizens. We have learned through the hard as well as the more customary ways that listening is a full-time occupation of leadership, and that all questions asked by the people must be answered thoroughly and in full. We have learned never to take anything for granted and make every effort to call all our people, to carry all our people along with us in the pursuit of our transformation. The context in which I make this national address is not only significantly different from previous occasions, but it's also a singular moment with unique historical implications for us all. This is an opportunity to affirm the principles and values of which our nation stands, review the steps we have taken, the path we have chosen in our journey of national development, and reinforce the commitments we have made to one another and to our beloved nation for the sake of the present and future generations. I do not take this for granted, and with utmost respect and humility before these assembly of the people's representatives, I desire to respond to the most pressing concerns that have been raised by Kenyans of all walks of life in recent months. To my understanding, the concerns and issues voiced by millions of Kenyans about the state of our nation deserve meaningful engagement, thorough understanding, and thoughtful response. There are discussions about whether leaders understand the pain, hardship, and struggles endured by countless citizens every day as they try to make ends meet, and whether the government is doing anything about it. Similarly, many struggling Kenyans impatiently wonder when will real money get to their pockets, and when will the jobs promised, which they deserve, become reality. Additionally, there has been conversations about our education system, particularly the transition to the competence-based curriculum, and where policies in this sector are working for or against Kenyans. Important questions have also been raised concerning the direction of development in relation to democracy, human rights, and fundamental freedoms, as well as the rule of law, transparency, and accountability. Another direct question that emerges every now and then is whether public policy in this administration is in furtherance of service delivery to citizens or just in aid of political strategy. It is undeniable that for many Kenyans, times are hard and the struggle to meet their daily basic needs remains daunting. It is also true that these conditions have persisted for a number of years now, leading to much frustration and anxiety. Although we have gone a long way to mitigate some of these difficulties, much remains to be done, though we have laid a firm foundation for decisive intervention. I believe that it is critical for us to bear in mind that this administration was inaugurated at an extremely difficult time, characterized by domestic challenges, compounded by regional and global security, geopolitical, financial, as well as climate dynamics. As a result, in 2022, the country's total debt burden was not only immense, but it was also stacked up in the most burdensome manner, leaving very little room for investment in public service or development of critical infrastructure. The price of food commodities soared as a result of a combination of prolonged drought, declining of productivity due to inadequate support, and disruptions in the global supply chain caused by the war in Europe. Kenya faced a crossroads of extremely difficult choices, where defaulting on obligations would have significantly wasn't an already perilous situation, and more borrowing was not an option. It was therefore essential for us to drastically reduce expenditure, mobilize as much as possible resources domestically, and curtail waste. As an information then, matters were going to get more difficult before they get better, and we all had to tighten our belts and work hard under very unforgiving conditions. We had staked the faith of ambitious bottom-up transformation agenda on easing the stress that the economy was in and strain citizens underwent, while creating room for the implementation of our transformative interventions. Members, I give background to underscore two very important facts. First, we haven't been watching helplessly and doing nothing as adversity took a toll on the economy and undermined the livelihoods and well-being of people. On the contrary, we have been working tirelessly to steer the country away from the brink of unprecedented economic collapse and onto a more promising trajectory. The second point is that while we may not be where we would like to be, we are certainly not where we were 2 years ago. At the same time, the cost of living was substantially high. The prices of basic commodities don't reach for many households. Today, I'm proud to report that the macroeconomic indicators point to a positive turnaround and an upward trajectory. Allow me to highlight the milestones that underscore the progress. The ship has stabilized significantly, appreciating from Kenya's $162 in February 2024 to Kenya's $129 today, at a market gain of 20%. This recovery has restored confidence in our financial markets and significantly reduced the cost of servicing external debt, creating fiscal space for our economic imperatives. Inflation has declined dramatically from 9.6% in September 2022 to 2.7% in October this year, the lowest rate in 17 years. This achievement has been the consequence of favorable weather and our deliberate efforts to support farmers with affordable inputs, including subsidized fertilizer, leading not only to increase production but also productivity and lowering prices of many cereals, including maize, pulses, such as beans and peas. Our foreign exchange reserves have surged by $2.4 billion to hit a new record of $9.5 billion, providing a 4.8 month of import cover, the highest in 10 years. This resilience shields us from external shocks in the global economy and restores investor confidence. Ladies and gentlemen, interest rates are also trending downwards, reducing borrowing costs and freeing up fiscal space for growth and enhancing initiatives by business. Tax revenues have grown by 11.5% in the year to June 2024, reflecting the tax of our tax-based expansion measures. The economy continues to grow steadily, recording a 5.6% growth rate in 2023, among the highest globally. We project 5% growth and 5.6% growth next year. Honourable members, our efforts to secure food security stability are already very good. Since February, we have distributed subsidized fertilizer to 6.45 million registered farmers in 45 counties, enabling them to increase their yields. And this year, we have procured and through vouchers distributed 7 million bags of crop planting and dressing fertilizer to boost food production across the country. This intervention will see a projected increase in newspaper production, for example, to a record 74 million 9 kilogram bags. We have also concluded long-term agreements with 11 suppliers of assorted fertilizers so as to make this commodity available all year round. Fertilizers for the long-range season will be stocked in outlets nationwide, ensuring our farmers are ready to plant, grow, and produce. This forward momentum will not only increase our agricultural output, but also reduce our reliance on costly food imports, securing a more self-reliant and more prosperous Kenya. This approach, rooted in my administration's policy to support production rather than subsidize consumption, has already made food more accessible, more affordable to many households. Today, Kenya boasts substantial national stocks: 47 million bags of 90 kilogram bags of maize and households, 8.8 million bags of beans, 10.4 million bags of wheat, and 2.1 million bags of rice. Slowly but surely, we are building a food secure Kenya, where families need not to worry or worry less how the next meal. In the sugar sector, we achieved a historic milestone. All 17 sugar factories across Kenya are now operational, producing at impressive levels, while 4 new sugar factories are under construction. In July alone, domestic sugar production reached 84,000 metric tons, surpassing the national monthly consumption average of 40,000 metric tons. For the first time in recent history, Kenya is producing enough sugar to meet our local demand. This success is attributed to many factors: subsidized fertilizer for sugarcane farms, an additional 500,000 acres that has been brought under production, and improved management of the sugar sector, which have revitalized production and brought the industry back to life. Assigned, as you know, the new sugar laws to provide further policy guidance as we seek to be a sugar exporting country shortly. In the coffee sector, we are on track to increase exports from 51,000 metric tons this year to 150,000 metric tons by 2027. The government has also raised disbursements from the Advance Fund from 2.7 billion to 6 billion, complemented by an additional disbursement of 1.5 billion by the Commodities Fund. Average prices at the Nairobi Coffee Exchange have risen by 25%. And in last financial year, the country produced and exported 40,000 metric tons, earning funds and 5 billion. Additionally, 320,000 bags of fertilizer have been allocated specifically for the coffee sector, and we will be working with cooperatives to make sure this fertilizer is distributed at the nearest possible destination to farmers. These interventions are expected to boost smallholder farmer earnings from 300,000 to 500,000 annually by the year 2027. The dairy sector remains a vital value chain with a quick turnaround impact on household economy. The government of Kenya has released and new members approved 3 billion shillings to modernize new KCC, ensure farmers are time and maintain high price of Kenya shillings 50 per litre. As a result, intake the KCC has increased from 100,000 litres a day to 220,000 litres a day by last month. Other strategic interventions include the extension of duty-free imports for feed manufacturing raw materials, subsidized artificial insemination services, and the reduction of sex semen costs from 7,000 to 2,009 to the Kenya Animal Genetic Resource Center. These measures have led to a 14% increase in milk production from 4.6 billion litres in 2022 to 5.2 billion litres in 2023, with projections exceeding 6 billion litres this year. The value of export dairy products has nearly doubled, rising from 8 billion in 2022 to 7.2 billion in 2023. These gains demonstrate how targeted policies and effective benefits to dairy farmers and drive growth in our economy. Honourable members, by 2022, the education sector was crisis with a lack of clarity in transition to the competence-based curriculum, a shortage of 110,000 teachers, and 23 out of 40 public universities were technical bankrupt and at risk of closure. Among those facing severe challenges were huge institutions such as my own alma mater, University of Nairobi, Kenyatta University, Moi University, Egerton University, Maseno University, Maseno Muliro University. To address this issue in our education sector, we have already hired, as you know, members, 56,000 teachers, and are in the process of recruiting 20,000 by January next year. We have also ensured the seamless transition of learners from primary to junior secondary and domiciled grade 7, 8, and 9 in primary school, optimizing the use of existing infrastructure, ensuring the safety of young learners, and protecting parents from the high costs associated with boarding schools far away. Recognizing financial challenges faced by universities and TVETs, we introduced a new student-centered higher education model. This model gives priority to the most vulnerable students, offering them up to 95% government support, while also pulling our universities back from the brink of collapse. The main challenges for a few universities, like Moi University, are related to internal administrative and governance issues, which have given firm instructions that they should be addressed. To finance access to higher education, we launched the Open University of Kenya, and this house approved that exercise, paving the way for most students to achieve their academic goals. The institution's first cohort of students is scheduled to graduate next week, on the 29th of November 2024. Honourable members, universal health coverage is a cornerstone of our transformation agenda and a matter that touches every Kenyan family. Despite health being a default function, we acknowledge immense financial burden that comes with health. Counties have struggled with shortages of medicine, equipment, sometimes staff, hindering service delivery, and leaving countless Kenyans with suboptimal access to health care. It would have been easy to step back and leave this responsibility to counties alone, but that would have been a disservice to Kenyans and a betrayal of our constitution. Instead of engaging in debates about healthcare being involved, I have chosen the hardest but necessary path of addressing this challenge head on. Health delivery is not just about fulfilling a constitutional mandate by whatever level of government. It is about ensuring that healthcare is not a privilege for the few who can afford and a pipe dream for the many who cannot. For years, NHIF was saddled with debts and inefficiencies, and healthcare was being severely and negatively impacted. For far too long, too many households have lived on the edge. That's one away from financial catastrophe. Our healthcare system has historically neglected the poor and vulnerable, leaving them without any option, while private and medical covers remain out of reach for the majority. This is precisely what we protect through provision of universal health coverage. This agenda is not just about a promise, it is about a bold commitment to help through transformative financing norms, making healthcare accessible and affordable, digitizing our healthcare services, enhance efficiency, eliminate fraud, and stop corruption, and to empower a skilled and motivated health workforce. To honor our commitment on the universal health coverage, I signed into law 4 groundbreaking legislation on the 19th of October, passed by this August House. The Social Health Insurance Act replaced the outdated National Hospital Insurance Fund and established the Social Health Authority, which oversees 3 essential funds. This modern framework ensures that every Kenyan, especially more vulnerable, can access quality healthcare services when they need it most. The shift from the National Health Insurance Fund model to Taifa Care is fundamental and radical in both scale and cut. NHIF, I'll give a bit of example. NHIF served a few salary Kenyans and those who could afford to pay. But Taifa Care covers every Kenyan, regardless of employment or financial status. Secondly, despite serving a limited class of citizens, NHIF nevertheless accumulated billions of shillings of debt because of misalignment between contributions and the actual cost of healthcare. Taifa Care has undertaken an accurate costing of all healthcare-related and services in order to provide timely, effective, and efficient service to every Kenyan that is affordable. Additionally, the NHIF had a period lasting between registration and eligibility for service. I think it was like about 2 months. Under Taifa Care, citizens are eligible for all services upon registration. I therefore urge every Kenyan to take the most important step in securing dependable healthcare for themselves and their families. Register. Register now, or at the earliest possible opportunity. Honourable members, for the first time in our national history, free primary healthcare is increasingly becoming available at dispensaries, health centers, and hospitals. Ambulance and emergency services are also slowly but surely being available at no fee. Under Taifa Care, we have introduced a comprehensive benefits package that brings specialized care, such as cardiothoracic surgery, within reach for many Kenyans without the burden of financial strain. Through the Digital Health Act, we are revolutionizing healthcare delivery. Every step of the process, from registration, eligibility checks, to claims, is now digitized. By eliminating unnecessary human interaction, we are tackling corruption, reducing efficiencies, and ensuring that resources are used where they are needed most. As a result, the good news, SHA will pay all October claims in full by next week. And it will continue going into the future. To date, over 15 million Kenyans have enrolled in Taifa Care, and more than 60% of employers have successfully transitioned into its framework. The newly established Social Health Insurance Fund empowers citizens to contribute towards accessing a broad range of healthcare benefits. This represents a seismic change from the old reactive healthcare model to a forward-looking system that prioritizes prevention and preparedness. Once the transition from NHIF and SHIP becomes fully operational, Kenya will have a healthcare system that guarantees dignity, peace of mind, and equitable access for every citizen for the first time in our 60 years of independence. Honourable members, we have launched an ambitious healthcare program, one that Kenya has always needed and deserved. Like any major transition, there are challenges, but I promise you, we are fully committed to making the system work. As we roll out this program, we are listening to citizen voices and collaborating with to deliver better care services through the facility improvement fund with you in this house. We will ensure that hospitals are equipped with the tools they need, medicine, equipment, and other resources necessary to provide quality care while involving citizens in decision making at every facility. We are now doing the heavy lifting, clearing PFO debts, ensuring access to medicine and stabilizing the system that have failed too many for too long. We are building a healthcare system that serves every citizen with equity and dignity. Over the past month, we have disbursed Kenya shillings 8 billion to settle historical debts all the public, private, and faith-based medical facilities, some of which have been pending for over a decade. Another 3.7 billion will be disbursed tomorrow. This underscores our commitment to ensuring uninterrupted delivery of healthcare services, and we will continue to clear remaining balances in a phased approach over the coming months. This sustained effort aims to restore confidence in the healthcare system and ensure seamless access of quality service. Honourable members, there is a compelling body of data projecting that not only is the future of humanity urban, but also that Africa has the fastest rate of urbanization. Kenya is no exception. In fact, many of our counties are urbanizing rapidly. Hence, we have a date beyond urban future, and the question we have is what this urban future will look like. Will it be characterized by decent, dignified, safe, and livable neighborhoods and communities, or will it be haphazard, unsanitary, and safe slum dwellings? This is the fundamental question that our affordable housing plan seeks to answer. Kenya has a serious housing deficit, and the cost of housing is beyond the reach of the majority. While the social and economic efforts of this shortage are far-reaching, rent as a component of the cost of living is unsustainable. People are forced to choose between enduring long, punishing commutes to faraway homes or taking up less desirable spaces within which. Supplying the number of units required to fill the affordable housing gap requires us to undertake construction throughout the country at the rate of 200,000 new housing units every year for 10 years. Many people have asked why they should be interested in affordable housing in rural areas. If you look around, you will witness the signs of our future. Land sizes are becoming smaller as population grows in rural agricultural areas. To protect agriculture and food security from the effects of uncontrolled land fragmentation, urbanization must be planned and be controlled. And the affordable housing program is therefore a vital component of integrated land use planning and development program that we are implementing throughout the country and in every county. Each unit of housing drives demand for different types of labor, professional services, materials, building laborers, masons, bricklayers, artisans, electricians, carpenters, as well as architects, engineers, and surveyors, lawyers, real estate economists into the equation. Affordable housing is a major opportunity for manufacturers, developers, and other industries. In other words, the economic boost from housing plan and economic transformation agenda is significant and undeniably much needed. As we speak, affordable housing now directly accounts for 164,000 new jobs over the past 1 year. Honourable members, today marks a significant milestone in our journey towards providing decent and affordable housing for all. After 2 years of hard work under the affordable housing program, I'm proud to announce and seen in the newspapers the launch of the sale of the first 4,888 housing units now in commission across 21 social housing projects. These units, comprising studios, 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, and 3-bedroom homes, are tailored to meet the needs of our people, offering 1,041 social housing units, 2,133 affordable housing units, and 1,714 affordable middle-class housing units in 24 counties. I invite every Kenyan above the age of 18 to join this historic journey towards home ownership. Guided by our principle of fairness, one ID, one house, every eligible Kenyan is encouraged to express interest, visit these developments, view the show houses, and engage with on-site staff who are ready to willing to assist. The application process will be transparent and credible, ensuring that every qualified applicant has an equal opportunity to own a home. Honourable members, as part of the government's endeavour to build a nation grounded in intergenerational equity, opportunities, and empowerment for all Kenyans, we have made significant strides in implementing another key pillar of our manifesto, labour migration. This initiative seeks to harness Kenya's abundant human capital marketing into job opportunities abroad, empowering our citizens and positioning Kenyan talent on the global stage. Since July 2023, we have successfully facilitated the employment of 105,367 Kenyans across multiple countries in a wide range of jobs. These opportunities span professional, semi-skilled, skilled, and unskilled sectors, including positions for nurses, teachers, and chefs. The National Employment Authority, the lead agency driving our ambitious initiative to create opportunities for qualified Kenyans locally and internationally, currently has a role of 560,000 job openings worldwide. I encourage many members to participate in this space. Our focus extends beyond destinations such as the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, Bahrain, Oman, Netherlands, Germany, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and Qatar. We are also expanding our reach by actively negotiating bilateral labor agreements with new potential markets, including Russia, Poland, and Jordan. These efforts are driven by our commitment to open up new pathways for employment, ensuring that Kenyans are represented in the global workforce. In the digital economy, we are expanding last-mile fiber opportunity using extensive Kenya Power Transmission Lines network to the most remote and underserved areas of Kenya, and making significant strides to establish digital and ICT hubs. These have created a foundation for digital transformation, enabling IT economy workers, young digital creators, and entrepreneurs to access available opportunities locally and globally. By bridging the digital divide, we are empowering our youth to compete on an equal footing in the global markets, increasing Kenya's ingenuity and innovation. I congratulate members of this August House for being part of this grand digital plan. Your support and encouragement and effort is duly recognized. We also prioritize the empowerment of individuals within the informal sector by unlocking the potential to targeted investment. This includes accessible loans, capacity building programs, and regulatory reforms designed to ease growth. A notable achievement is the partnership in the banking industry, which I created a month ago. This extended an additional 150 billion in loans to micro, small, and medium enterprises, complementing the government's efforts to nurture this vital sector. For financial inclusion, we have made remarkable progress through the Hustle Fund. To date, this innovative initiative has disbursed 60 billion, benefiting 24.6 billion Kenyans and mobilized over 3.3 billion in savings. The fund maintains a customer base of 8.5 million beneficiaries with a payment rate of 79%. To mark the fund's second anniversary, we have taken a bold step by launching a third product specifically tailored for small and medium enterprises. This new initiative initially targeted 2 million beneficiaries who have demonstrated a strong credit history with the fund. By so doing, we aim to create a pathway for these entrepreneurs to transition into the formal banking system, thereby deepening financial inclusion and strengthening the SME sector. This milestone underscores our commitment to build a financially inclusive and economically resilient nation. The progress we have made has been possible only because the people of Kenya have been courageous, strong, determined, and passionate. It has also been enabled by a number of early interventions under our bottom-up transformation agenda, and at the same time, created space for us to implement the agenda in full. As we proceed with implementation, we expect to quickly capitalize on the gains we have secured and invested resources in the economy with an emphasis on strategic pillars of our plan. As more projects get off the ground, more people get hired, liquidity levels improve, more money ends up in people's pockets. Honorable members, you know, we are democracy. Democracy is a founding principle and divine value of our nation. Democracy is hard-won, non-negotiable right, and guarantees freedom that we are proud of and must always defend. Our national democratic culture expresses itself energetically through robust discourse, boldly speaking truth to power, and holding leadership to account. It is a tradition of fearless expression and vigorous public participation. This is who we are, and there is nothing anyone can do about it. We understand, therefore, that protests are always legitimate and permitted by the Constitution. Protests are conducted by citizens, lawfully and unarmed. Assemblies, demonstrations, and picketing to advance constitutionalism, increase accountability, and defend the rule of law are constitutional imperatives. Conversely, mobilization in pursuit of criminal agenda, chaos, and anarchy are explicitly forbidden because we all have a duty to defend our public, our constitution, and the rights of all people. Government, in particular, must make at all times against moral threats, sovereignty, and territorial integrity of our nation, as well as public order, peace, and security. In this digital era, characterized by so many innovations, including artificial intelligence, it has never been easier to inform, educate, and entertain the people. At the same time, it has never been easier to misinform, mislead, disinform, incite, and alarm the public. Criminals and subversive elements who infiltrate and hijack peaceful protests are a threat both to legitimate protesters and the public. Incidences of violent criminality in the name of protests threaten the safety of innocent people, public assets, private property, and the social order. The tension here is we have a democracy which we are proud of, must defend, and should defend by all means. At the same time, we have citizens whose rights we must protect, and a nation whose security, stability, and prosperity we must safeguard. The task at hand is complicated if citizens and state agencies dilute the distinction between the lawful and the criminal. The task and are identical between protesters and security officers from bandits, gangsters, and criminals. It is only by following the law that we are able to achieve our aims and apportion accountability properly. It should not be possible for robbers and looters to escape accountability by claiming that they are taking part in a protest. Likewise, it should not be possible for security officers to wound, maim, or even kill citizens and claim that they were engaging violent criminals. We all have a duty to make the necessary distinction and do so clearly to protect democratic expression and guarantee public safety and security. I must now confront an issue of widespread concern regarding the relationship between citizens and the security service in the context of human rights and intense political dynamism. Numerous allegations have been made concerning disappearance of people during protests. A number of these cases have been resolved have been uncovered as fake news, undermining efforts to find genuine cases of missing persons. A good number of alleged disappearances have also turned out to be arrests made by police officers. In such cases, the suspects have been duly arraigned in court. I must, however, make it clear that there is no attempt to justify or excuse illegal arrests. Such would be a serious threat to the life and liberty of citizens. I condemn any excessive or extrajudicial action which puts the life and liberty of any person at risk, including disappearances and threats to life. I urge all Kenyans with information about such cases to forward the information to the Directorate of Criminal Investigation and to IPOA, where the suspected members of the police service be implicated. I am aware, for example, that many of the cases that have been raised are handled by the independent police oversight authority, an important step in accountability and justice. Many citizens, as well as various organizations representing and defending human rights and welfare, have expressed concern about gender-based violence and the increasing cases of killings of female victims by male criminals motivated by primitive expressions of gender brutality and impunity. Left unaddressed, these incidents will cause the women of our nation to feel increasingly unsafe, even in their own homes. This is both tragic and unacceptable. It also complicates, in disturbing ways, the struggle by Kenyan women for inclusion, for equality, for dignity, social justice, their rights, their protection, a section of our society that has been marginalized for a long time. I am aware that most of these cases of murder of women by men have been investigated and prosecuted. It is my hope that in due course, those uncovered will face the full force of the law. Members, it is time for each of us, political leaders, public officers, religious leaders, social institutions, and farmers, to our part in raising boys into morally upright men who will never need to fund their masculinity at the expense of women, but instead contribute to making our society just safe, equal, and inclusive. I appreciate women leaders who have taken time to get me and propose solutions to address this issue. I have held discussions with other leaders in the government, and I have asked the Deputy President to reach out and facilitate collaborative, broad-based, and multi-sectoral direction and recommend effective and radically transformative and affirmative action within the next 6 months. This Parliament will recall that early in my tenure, I engaged the leadership of both parties in recommendations on a working formula to capitalize meaningful inclusion of women in national leadership. We must seriously question the drivers and the motives of resistance and reluctance to take the next step in actualizing true that gender approval. We must call out to continue to support this right of women to contribute to the government of our nation. Women are not second-class citizens. They deserve equal representation at all levels. Honorable members, every shilling of our national revenue matters and must be used to deliver maximum value to Kenyans. Wastage, corruption, and abuse of office are grave risks to national transformation and a direct threat to the well-being of the people. I have given my full commitment to our public resources. To begin with, I have championed the automation and digitalization of small businesses, seal holes that lead to resources, enhance accountability, eliminate opportunities for corruption, therefore moving efficiently and transparency. I would like to report this house on the demands we have recorded in digitizing our education and service delivery system. We have so far digitized 20,855 government services, up from 350 in 2022, representing an increase of almost 6,000%, while we have significantly improved revenue collection. In the case of Kenya Service, whose total revenue for the year ending June 2023 was 5.3 billion. But after implementing a digital revenue collection system, the revenue grew to 7.6 billion in the year ending June budget this year, representing a 43% increase. This initiative alone has finally put KWS on the path to self-sufficiency, free information from the reliance on exchange service. I commend the teams at KWS, as well as all other government institutions that have leveraged technology and the digitization process to improve revenue collection. Under the digital health act that you members passed in this house, we are determined to enhance efficiency and transparency provided by technology in the provision of healthcare services to eliminate fraud and fake claims. Tax regularization by the Revenue Authority, starting with the customs revenue system, is equally being worked on to ensure that revenue leaks are eliminated. Because corruption is a serious risk to social justice, sustainable development, and national security, and the government transformation agenda, I am harnessing our working relationship with other arms of government to encourage judicial employment to enhance integrity and efficiency by digitization and automation. As I do so, I must caution that all these measures will only achieve intended results if and only if the institutions charged with combating corruption and promoting efficiency and integrity stop hiding behind the transparent screen of evidence and rise up to meet people's expectations on matters of integrity. Let me say this: it can be the case that the Director of Public Prosecutions keeps dropping cases because somehow they are unable to produce witnesses. It can also be the case that corruption suspects rush to court to obtain anticipatory bail that shields them from due process and enables them to compromise investigations. There is also reason for corruption cases to to drag in our courts for years, when the same courts are able to terminate petitions related to disputes within 6 months. Members, it is also unacceptable for the House of Parliament to deny the nation a much-needed instrument in the war against corruption by continuing to sabotage the passage of the conflict of interest bill. I implore you, honourable members, to stop dragging your feet on this bill unless, my friends, there is a conflict of interest in the passing of the conflict of interest legislation. Similarly, the National Treasury has been dragging its feet in the implementation of an e-procurement system for the last 10 years. Today, I directed the National Treasury to roll out the e-procurement system by the end of first quarter 2025 and ensure that going forward, all procurement taken through the system is certain and paid for. Of the many thousand assignments, the many assignments I have taken, this fight against corruption is one I now take on with resolve. At this hour, I notice the ball. International institutions charged with responsibility must have their king, pull up their socks in match up to the expectations of the people of Kenya. Honourable members, I have stated in the past and now reiterate today that in the face of undisputed evidence or credible information on corruption, I am not hesitate to take decisive action. Accordingly, I now direct, in accordance with the principles enshrined in Article 10 of the Constitution on transparency and accountability, and based on new information provided by investigative agencies and partner nations, that the procurement agencies within the Ministry of Transport and the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum immediately cancel the ongoing procurement process for the JKIA expansion public and private transaction. Let me read this right. I have said that because of the information that have been provided to us by partner nations, I have directed agencies within the Ministry of Transport and the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum to immediately cancel the ongoing procurement process for JKI expansion public-private partnership transaction, as well as the recently concluded truck transmission and immediately commence the process of onboarding all country partners, because these are important processes. Honourable members, the work of taking our nation forward is our collective responsibility as citizens. For this reason, we value the contribution of all, whether it come in form of support or encouragement, suggestion or proposal, criticism or protest. I believe that the most powerful component of leadership is learning. Therefore, I engage you and listen to all citizens, their elected leaders, public officers, administrators, teachers, and other professionals, learners and the youth, farmers, bishops, pastoral traders, craftsmen, artisans, nurses, workers, community promoters, and workers across all sectors in every sector. I listen to religious leaders, civil society, industrialists, entrepreneurs, and professionals. Their contributions and everyone else's have my full attention and commitment to respond to positive, affirmative action that takes the national transformation endeavor forward. I commit to continue listening and acting, to engage, debate, deliberate review, and to take your input into the direction in serving our nation. I think the program transformation agenda is defined by its capacity to elicit feedback in the course of implementation and improving in making improvements and further progress. Their input from stakeholders, our ability to drive progress increases. By listening to you and to every Kenyan, I am able to serve this nation better. As we take part in this necessary discourse, I want to make one thing very clear. I am fully invested in the success of the strategies, policies, programs, and projects, and our plan. For this reason, I am committed to do what it takes and work with every Kenyan until we succeed, because failure is not an option. Given the challenges our nation has faced, it has become clear, honourable members, that overcoming these obstacles requires the collective energy, collective wisdom, ideas, and goodwill of Kenyans of all political, cultural persuasions, religious beliefs, and walks of life. The wisdom of entrenching national unity and inclusivity as a national value in our constitution is clearly evident. Our diversity is our source of power. And this moment, in the our nation, calls for radical collaboration to transcend our challenges. We do not have the luxury of magnify our differences. It is time for all of us to pull together and usher the nation into the future of our dreams. This in mind, I initiated extensive consultations with leaders from across all divides, public and private. Through these engagements, we resolved to imagine unity and inclusivity and harness the full potential of our nation to bipartisanship, which culminated in formation of the broad-based government. The imperative to accommodate the contribution of leaders across the aisle inspired us to constitute the broad-based government. A partnership based on shared purpose and premise on a commitment to bring our national values into action to turbocharge the implementation of the transformation of our nation. In a myself, transformation is like farming. A lot of resources are invested in planting the land and planting the seeds, after which there is nothing to see for all the market stretches of their earth. Impatience might lead to anxiety and lamentation for the waste of effort in seed planting in the earth. However, after the great seedling sprout, requiring attention, weeding, and patient tending into a crop that will be ready for harvest. So is economic transformation. It requires hard work, investment resources, patience, and faith. We have planted the seed, and over the field it is beginning to sprout. While immediately there remains much to fulfill, our collective hope to deliver the national economic transformation that this nation so dearly deserves is on course. I am proud to declare that we have also made undeniable progress in building on the strong foundation laid in previous years and getting the national development project off the ground. Honourable members, from the reports that I have the honor to table for your consideration and debate, there is reason to be optimistic that our forward march is unstoppable and that our capacity and commitment to believe and work by our national values and principles of governance are stronger than ever before. Our nation is a proud member of the international community, making our contributions to the global progress boldly and with great determination. We stand collectively facing the bone with confidence that our expectations of bright daylight is not in vain. In summary, honourable members and all fellow citizens, the state of our nation is resilient. And now, honourable speakers, it is my pleasure to submit to Parliament the following 3 reports as required by the Constitution. Number 1 is the report on all measures taken and progress achieved in the realization of national values. The second report on progress made in fulfilling international obligations of the Republic of Kenya. And the third report on the state of our security. Now, therefore, I hand over the report to the Speaker of the Senate and the Speaker of the National Assembly. Thank you all. God bless you. God bless Kenya.
Order, honourable members. The Excellency the President, the Right Honourable Speaker of the National Assembly, honourable members, distinguished guests, please keep up standing. Yes, the day. It is now time for adjourn. Senate stands adjourned until Tuesday, the 26th of November, 2024, at 2:30 p.m. in the Senate chamber.
Honourable members of the National Assembly, the National Assembly now stands adjourned on Monday, 26th November 2024, at 2:30 p.m. May I also take this opportunity? On Monday, I repeat, the National Assembly stands adjourned until Monday, 25th November 2024, at 2:30 p.m. May I take the opportunity to invite all honourable members and our guests to our session at the Parliament courtyard. May I also request all of you honourable members and our guests to remain standing in your places until the procession of the President and the speakers of the two houses leave the chamber.
Well, however, towards the end of the third stage of the nation address by the President of the Republic of Kenya, President William Ruto, was just concluded. His third state of the nation address, as required by the Constitution, the about over an hour state of the address has been addressed. That touched on a few issues of concern to Kenyans. Among them is the decade done with announcing the cancellation of the deal following information that has been given to the Republic. The President has opened the issue of wastage of country's corruption, testing the relevant investigative voice, starting the responsibility of investigating the two cases of corruption to clean up their socks. The explained from this that statement addressed the aspect of the implementation and realization of the two-party model with the announcement that the government of Kenya are no longer going to be centre and that the government is going to ensure that